The best offense in the WNBA is Caitlin effing Clark.
One thing I really liked about it was the level of respect from Caitlin Clark, and you saw it, or for Caitlin Clark from the opponent.
Ass kicking by Caitlin Clark, no doubt about it.
Caitlin Clark is back in action. The Caitlin Clark effect is back in action.
Here we go. All right.
And then
she shot that from 2 states over.
That is not common. We are in rare air here. I was legitimately like flying out of my seat.
Oh, no! She's back! Like, she's just out there getting trash talked by Caitlin Clark. We've even got ESPN posting about it.
Caitlin Clark to the fullest. Caitlin giving her the yum, yum, yum. And then all of a sudden she fouls. Can't even keep up with Caitlin that well.
What a game. The Indiana Fever didn't just grab a win, they ended the New York Liberty's perfect run. And leading the charge, Caitlin Clark. From deep logo bombs to highlight reel plays, she wasn't just in the game, she owned it. When Breanna Stewart dared to give her space, Caitlin turned that into a statement. One shot boom and the entire arena shook.
There was actually a moment where, where Breanna Stewart was giving her a lot of space. She shoots it from the logo, she drills it, and right afterwards, I think all Breanna Stewart could do is kind of laugh about it. I actually loved that moment.
Caitlin Clark just put one of the WNBA's all-time greats on notice and did it under the bright lights of national TV. In a moment already breaking the internet, Clark wasn't just hitting logo threes. She stared down Breanna Stewart, talked her talk, and left the legend grinning in shock. The crowd lost it. ESPN ran with it. Even NBA stars had to chime in.
Caitlin, in the first half, played the best half I've seen from a WNBA player all year. She dominated. They couldn't do anything. They could not live with her. Yes, she slowed down the second half.
With a packed arena in shock and millions tuned in nationwide, Caitlin Clark torched the court and left one of the WNBA's biggest icons trailing. But she didn't stop there. She sprinkled in just enough trash talk to light up the internet. This wasn't just a win, it was a message. And now, the entire league is on alert.
It's still a huge victory. It's still a huge win, and they needed it. 5-5. By the way, that was an MVP performance from Caitlin Clark against a team on national television. And guys, I'm going to call it. I think this game might have averaged 3 million viewers today. I think there's a chance.
The arena was electric, the spotlight was blazing, but nothing landed harder than Caitlin Clark's comeback. Shot after shot, each one launched from deeper range. And then came that moment. Breanna Stewart paused, cracked a smile, and just like that, the internet went wild.
You saw that in exchange with Breanna Stewart in this game, where Stewie was just like, I have to give it up. You know, I can't deny it either. It is what it is, right? Like, laughing in the midst of everything that went on. Breanna Stewart reacting to Caitlin Clark out there on the floor and just smiling. That was the reaction that Stewie had when Clark hit one of those threes in her face.
After sitting out with an injury, all eyes were locked on her return, but no one saw this coming. Going up against Breanna Stewart and the unbeaten New York Liberty, Caitlin Clark didn't just step back in, she took control and flipped the script. In a jaw-dropping moment that's already blowing up online, Caitlin Clark locked eyes with Breanna Stewart, waved off the help, and called for the ISO. Then came the step-back three right in the face of the former MVP. And the trash talk, ice cold. The wildest part? Stewart just laughed because there was nothing else she could do.
She had an ISO on Stewie, and she said, hey, AB, get over there, AB. Hey, clear out, guys, clear out. Watch what step back, pull up, bang, right in Stewie's face, and Stewie couldn't help but laugh. Couldn't help but laugh. Caitlin Clark letting her have it. And folks, look at Sandy Brondello.
Caitlin Clark just humiliated one of the greatest players in WNBA history on national TV. In a moment that's already gone viral, Clark didn't just drain logo threes. She stared down Breanna Stewart, trash-talked her, and left the legend laughing in disbelief. The crowd erupted. ESPN posted it. Even NBA stars couldn't stay silent.
Like, she's just out there getting trash talked by Caitlin Clark. We've even got ESPN posting about it. So she's guarding Caitlin, and that shot goes in. She's probably like, what the hell's going on? Caitlin Clark immediately trash talking, and she has to laugh. Like, at that stage. And the maddest thing is, I actually want to say, is Caitlin, I thought, did a really good job on defense today.
Yo, what did we just witness? Caitlin Clark didn't come to play, she came to dominate. She turned the heat all the way up and made it personal. Breanna Stewart, a certified icon, looked a step behind all night. By the time that buzzer sounded, the talk was loud and the crowd was louder. Fans were going crazy, the internet was on fire, and let's be real, even legends can get humbled.
Tasha Cloud also had a terrible day. This helped with the dub, man. She shot 1 for 8 from the floor, 0 for 4 from the 3, had 5 points, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, and also she had that moment where she was trying to D-up Caitlin Clark to the fullest, Caitlin giving her the yum, 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 and then all of a sudden she fouls, can't even keep up with Caitlin that well.
And it didn't stop there. Caitlin was soaring, pulling up from the logo like it was routine. This wasn't just basketball, it was cinema, not just a comeback and a full-blown takeover. Fans were losing their voices, Twitter was melting down, and even LeBron James chimed in. Welcome back, you were missed. Straight from the GOAT, the difference was night and day. Before Caitlin, the Fever looked lost. With her on the floor, they looked dangerous.
She's back.
Oh my God! This isn't real.
Right side. No. Come back.
This isn't my best moment exactly, but I just could not contain myself. I am that person when I watch games. There was actually a moment where, where Breanna Stewart was giving her a lot of space. She shoots it from the logo, she drills it, and right afterwards, I think all Breanna Stewart could do is kind of laugh about it. I actually loved that moment. I was live with Venom. We do our little watch parties, and the watch party today was just so much fun.
It was Fever versus everybody. The energy was electric, the pressure was real, and Caitlin Clark stepped in with a point to prove. All eyes were locked on her and Breanna Stewart, the vet, the MVP, the legend. But no one saw how quickly things would heat up. The tension, you could feel it. Stewart kept forcing the issue inside, racking up 14 free throws, half of them questionable at best. But Caitlin wasn't flinching. She was talking, pushing tempo, and drilling shots that had the crowd losing their minds. She wasn't just showing up, she was fighting back.
The Indiana Fever have come out and dominated. Breanna Stewart shot 14 free throws. Stewie shot 14. Half of them phantom fouls. Caitlin was dead. She was exhausted. She was absolutely exhausted. And still, I understand she had 25 in the first half. She had 0 in the fourth quarter.
It all kicked off with a high-stakes showdown. Indiana Fever versus the undefeated New York Liberty. Stacked with stars and led by the legendary Breanna Stewart, the Liberty came in confident. But Caitlin Clark had other plans. From the jump, she was electric step-back threes, no-look dimes, fearless drives to the rim. By halftime, she'd already poured in 25. But it wasn't just the stats, it was the command. She controlled the tempo, picked apart the defense, and made one thing crystal clear. This wasn't just another game. With every bucket, she quieted the critics and turned up the heat on one of the league's elite.
One of the greatest single half performances I've ever seen in basketball. Okay, I'm old enough. I've said this before. I grew up. I've fully watched all of Magic, all of Bird, all of Chuck, all of Jordan, Ewing, Olajuwon, all of them. It was one of the best halves. It was in the top 5 best offensive halves of basketball I've ever seen. All right, and keep in mind, Caitlin Clark just scored 25 points, and the quarters in the WNBA are shorter.
Caitlin Clark's return to the Indiana Fever wasn't just a moment, it was a movement. The energy shifted the second she stepped on the floor. From the first possession, you could feel it. No-look dimes, logo-range threes, pure madness. She drilled 3 of them in 38 seconds, and the crowd? Unhinged. Even the commentators couldn't keep it together. That's the kind of spark only Clark brings.
Her return to the Indiana Fever showed it once again. It felt like a jolt of energy to the WNBA, obviously to the Indiana Fever, who looked like a completely different team, as Caitlin Clark put on a show that only she can in leading the team to a win over the New York Liberty, the first L for the Liberty on the season. Clark made those passes that are just gorgeous dimes. She hit the logo bombs, 3 of them in 38 seconds. The kind of things that just make you make incomprehensible noises, like, ah!
Where do you even begin with a stat line like that? Caitlin Clark returned with a vengeance, dropping 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 7 threes in just 31 minutes. But this wasn't just about the box score, it was how she did it. 3 logo bombs in 38 seconds? That's not just basketball, that's theater. This was the version of Caitlin fans had been waiting for: the sniper, the playmaker, the momentum shifter. And it wasn't just a win over New York, it was a statement. Clark ran the show and led the Fever to their first 100-plus point game of the season. Full control, full takeover.
Where do I even start? 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 7 threes, 11 for 20 in only 31 minutes of basketball. The Indiana Fever say, come on, New York. Come on. Somebody's got to give you this first L, and I guess it's going to be us. No Jonquel Jones, but the Indiana Fever handled business. 102-88. We finally hit triple digits thanks to CC22. Caitlin Clark. Folks,
In just under 40 seconds, Caitlin Clark set the arena on fire, draining 3 straight logo threes like it was nothing. Fans were losing it, joking someone needed to call the cops for logo abuse. She wasn't just shooting, she was taking over. By the final buzzer, 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. And she wasn't slacking on defense either. 2 blocks, 1 steal, all while shooting lights out. Every time she touched the ball, it felt like chaos was about to erupt. This wasn't just talent, it was presence. Clark looked focused, fearless, and fully in control. That look in her eyes, it said, "Move, I've got this," and she meant it.
Caitlin Clark, 9 points in 20 or 38 seconds. Oh my goodness. Came back to back logo threes. For a minute, man, I told the chat, call the cops on Caitlin Clark for logo abuse. Oh my goodness, man. She was killing it out there. Oh man. But anyway, 32 points from Caitlin Clark, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 11 for 20 from the field, 7 for 14 from the 3. Yo!
Maureen Johannes tried to answer with a 3, but Caitlin Clark wasn't done. She came right back down and launched another logo bomb. Back-to-back heat checks. Then came the third. A quick screen gave her just enough daylight. And from over 30 feet out, bang. The Liberty were stunned. Caitlin was running the show, dropping buckets, dishing dimes, and turning up the pressure. All of it building to that inevitable clash with Breanna Stewart.
Then Maureen Johannes comes down, hits another 3. I write off that Maureen Johannes hit a 3. Caitlin Clark comes down from deep, hits the 3. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. She goes and does that. And then a possession later, Dan sets the screen, and Caitlin's just like, yeah, let me just pull from like 30 again. Bang. In a row. She got those assists, hit a couple of those shots, and then this was the shot right here.
One moment changed everything, the shot that broke the internet. Breanna Stewart gave Caitlin Clark space. Not just a little 5 feet of, let's see what you got, disrespect. Clark didn't hesitate. She pulled up from the logo and buried it. Stewart's response? Just a laugh, because what else could she do? In that instant, Clark wasn't just putting up points, she was making a statement, loud and clear.
3 logo threes in that amount of time is unreal. There is really no other reaction than just to say, wow. Just like LeBron James did when he tweeted out, the CC effect, welcome back, you were missed. From the GOAT. I mean, Caitlin Clark actually had people flying in from Hong Kong to see her play, and they addressed that in the post-game interview, and this was the interaction.
But this game wasn't just about the scoring. Caitlin Clark dismantled the narrative that she's turnover prone. Yes, there were a few, but most were dead ball turnovers, the kind that don't lead to easy points on the other end. And in the second half, she cleaned it up, boosted her assist-to-turnover ratio, and stayed aggressive. That's not luck, that's growth. That's next-level basketball IQ. Even as fatigue started to show, her impact never dipped. She dictated the tempo, forced the Liberty to adjust, and still found open shooters out of double teams. This wasn't just a hot hand, it was a masterclass in control and poise under pressure.
She didn't have it in her. Like, second half, I think she turned it over only 3 times. She had less turnovers. Ironically, she had more assists in the second half than the first half. She had a better assist-to-turnover ratio, but she wasn't as good in the second half. I'm going to be honest. She was one of 5 from 3. But at the end of the day, like, she has, again, set a record. Nobody has ever accomplished this stat line in the WNBA before.
It went viral within minutes. Cameras caught Caitlin Clark talking her talk no fear, even with Breanna Stewart right there. This wasn't disrespect, it was confidence. The kind that only comes when you know you're running the show. Social media lit up. Fans couldn't stop replaying the moment. And just like that, Caitlin's trash talk wasn't just heard, it became the highlight of the night.
Boom, another 3. Ridiculousness. I mean, this was an unbelievable ass kicking by Caitlin Clark. No doubt about it. Here we go. All right.
And then
I mean, she shot that from 2 states over. I mean, seriously, she shot that from so far away.
It wasn't anger. It wasn't frustration. It was the look of a legend who knew she's the real deal. No words were spoken, but that smile said it all. When Caitlin Clark delivers like that and leaves an icon grinning mid-game, you don't need commentary. That's how you know she's officially arrived.
One thing I really liked about it was the level of respect from Caitlin Clark, and you saw it, or for Caitlin Clark from the opponent. You saw that in exchange with Breanna Stewart in this game, where Stewie was just like, I have to give it up. You know, I can't deny it either. It is what it is, right? Like, laughing in the midst of everything that went on. Breanna Stewart reacting to Caitlin Clark out there on the floor and just smiling. That was the reaction that Stewie had when Clark hit one of those threes in her face. You know, she had this big cheesing grin that you saw, and that's the kind of thing that's you can't replicate.
Then boom, step back, pull up, bang, a deep 3 right in Stewie's face. And Stewart, she laughed. Not because it was funny, but because there was nothing else she could do. Caitlin Clark had just embarrassed one of the league's most respected vets and let her know about it. That trash talk? Straight fire. This wasn't just a bucket, it was a message. The rookie's not backing down. Not from Stewart, not from anyone.
Caitlin Clark is back in action. The Caitlin Clark effect is back in action. Folks, as she was scoring 3 threes in 38 seconds, she had an ISO on Stewie, and she said, hey, AB, get over there, AB. Hey, clear out, guys, clear out. Watch what step back, pull up, bang, right in Stewie's face, and Stewie couldn't help but laugh. Couldn't help but laugh. Caitlin Clark letting her have it. And folks, look at Sandy Brondello. Sandy Brondello can't even hate. Sandy, you can hate. You need to appreciate. Folks.
Breanna Stewart came in as the season star, but this time, the game plan locked her down. The Indiana Fever flipped the script, putting Kelsey Mitchell on her up top and daring her to shoot, knowing Stewart hasn't been a deep threat this season. And it worked. Every time Stewart tried to bully her way into the paint, the bigs were ready. Aaliyah Boston, Natasha Howard rotating, switching, and shutting the door. That kind of mismatch control. All Stephanie White. That wasn't just defense, that was coaching, and Stewart felt it.
Another thing before I get into individual performances, I want to give the Indiana Fever a huge props to them taking away the mismatches. All right. For instance, they had Kelsey Mitchell on Breanna Stewart at the top of the key, and basically they see that Breanna Stewart is really not a threat like that this season from the three. So they allowed Kelsey Mitchell to guard her at the perimeter. But once Brianna Stewart start trying to go to the paint, here come Aaliyah Boston. Here comes DeWanna Bonner. Here comes Natasha Howard. Here comes those bigs to switch out and tell her, hey, go to the guard or go to the shooting guard. That was beautiful work. And if you're talking about coaching, that's some coaching for you right there, man.
Even ESPN couldn't hold back. They posted the clip within minutes. Social media exploded. LeBron James jumped into the conversation. And for anyone watching live, it was obvious. This wasn't rookie confidence. It was superstar fire. Breanna Stewart tried to hold her down, but Caitlin Clark wasn't just hooping, she was owning the moment. Soaking in the spotlight, controlling the narrative, and letting the whole league know this is her era now.
So she's guarding Caitlin, and that shot goes in. She's probably like, what the hell's going on? Caitlin Clark immediately trash talking, and she has to laugh. Like, at that stage. And the maddest thing is, I actually want to say is, Caitlin, I thought, did a really good job on defense today. Like, I actually think that Caitlin did a really good job on defense today. Look, is Caitlin a good defender? No. But I think she goes into the 50th percentile of defenders. Like someone said, that's not even... Caitlin Clark stepped back on Stewie. That's not even remotely a step back. 6-shot, but opponents laughing with each other. I mean, she's just hit her 4th logo 3 of the game. Like, imagine guarding 2 steps outside the 3-point line and you're still nowhere close to the shot. Like, it was obnoxious. Like, it's obnoxiously long where she shoots the ball from. It's actually ridiculous. It is actually ridiculous. Like, you've now got Caitlin Clark and Breanna Stewart just laughing. Like, Breanna Stewart has to laugh. Like, Caitlin's just one of those. And I always say this when it comes to Caitlin Clark. She is psycho in, like, the best way possible. Like, I reckon Caitlin Clark would be, she's the type of player that would drop 30 on your head and laugh after every single bucket they scored.
The message couldn't be clearer. She's not just back, she's leading the charge. But was that the coldest moment of the season? Hit the comments and let us know. Caitlin Clark didn't just drop buckets, she sent a message. Against one of the league's best, she showed zero fear, lit up the floor, and let her game and her trash talk do all the talking. Breanna Stewart tried to slow her down, but in the end, even she had to smile and respect the heat. This wasn't just a viral highlight. It was a warning shot to the entire WNBA.
You know, as a superstar player that it's like, there's nothing you can do. When a superstar player gets shit talked and they just laugh. They have to just laugh. I was like, yeah, there's nothing I can do. I can't do anything here. GG's. Like, Caitlin was on a heater that I don't think I'd ever seen before.
From the trash talk to the scoreboard, Caitlin Clark outshined Breanna Stewart and made one thing clear. She's not here to learn, she's here to lead. So now the question is, did we just witness the moment Caitlin Clark became the face of the WNBA? Against one of the league's biggest legends, she didn't flinch, she fired. Trash talk, logo threes, and total dominance. This wasn't just a win, it was a warning. And if this is how Caitlin Clark plays fresh off an injury, the rest of the league better brace themselves.
Caitlin was dead. She was exhausted. She was absolutely exhausted. And still, I understand she had 25 in the first half. She had 0 in the fourth quarter.
Games like this put fear in the league. When they see us going, when they see Caitlin, oh, there it is. And yeah, that's demoralizing.
Caitlin Clark didn't just make a return, she took over. From logo bombs to breaking a legend's poker face, she reminded everyone exactly who she is and why the league better be ready. That fire, that confidence, that edge, it's what lit up the internet. So now the question is, was it just trash talk? Or are we witnessing the rise of the league's next queen?
She hit the logo bombs, 3 of them in 38 seconds. The kind of things that just make you make incomprehensible noises. Like, oh!
Caitlin Clark saying, hey, forget it, get out of the way, turn it into MVP Caitlin Clark and saying, get out of the way. I'm about to take this shot. I'm about to get us in the game. I like that, Caitlin. Way to control your team. You looked amazing out there today. Good job, man. Look, we survived that whistle, y'all. We survived the whistle. They went to the free throw line 30 times, all right? 30 times versus our 16. Versus our 16, man. We survived the whistle, man. Good job.
And I think the moral of the story is, welcome back, Caitlin Clark. You are insane.
Breanna Stewart's a legend, but tonight, Caitlin Clark stole the spotlight. So now the question is, was this the night she officially took over the WNBA? So what's your take? Is this the rise of a new WNBA queen? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay locked in because Caitlin Clark is only just getting started.